Let's talk about something that's been brewing in the graphic design industry for a while now. The shift between traditional ad agencies and in-house design teams. Because while the big holding company agencies are stumbling, in-house design teams are playing the best game of their lives. Looking at Nike, looking at Spotify, looking at Pepsico, they're all showing what happens when you invest in design at the core. Meanwhile, on the agency side, it's starting to look like the wheels are falling off. Pay is low, morale is shaky, holding companies are consolidating like crazy just to stay afloat. We are at a turning point, and you can feel it. Today, we're talking about the rise of in-house design teams, contrasting it with the current creative agency landscape, and why this matters, especially for graphic designers. But before we get into it, I'm Ziggy the Designer. I'm a graphic designer who's worked alongside some of the world's most recognizable brands, including United Airlines, Target, and Stanford University. If you like the conversations we're having on this show, be sure to support the channel by giving this episode a like, leaving a comment down below, and of course, by subscribing. Let's get into it. Design is all around us, so we might as well talk about it. Let's start by talking in-house. Because 10, 15 years ago, being in-house was seen as the safe job, right? You punch in, you punch out, make some ads, design a couple of decks, keep the brand machine rolling. Nobody thought working on an in-house team was glamorous work back in the 2010s. Shoot, I remember being in college back in 2019, scoffing at in-house teams, but fast forward to now. These in-house teams are putting out era-defining work. Let's look at PepsiCo, right? Their in-house team. PepsiCo Design and Innovation is now one of the most influential brand studios in the world. They're not just refreshing some packaging design, right? They've completely redefined what a billion-dollar CPG giant could look like. The 2023 Pepsi rebrand, that was done in-house. The new Mountain Dew identity, also done in-house. Every packaging revamp you see from PepsiCo, odds are it's done in-house. And the kicker, right? They're winning the same awards that agencies used to own. We're talking Cannes Lions, we're talking Pent Awards, we're talking Red Dot, right? PepsiCo doesn't need to call WPP anymore to make them look good. They have their own studio that operates at agency level, maybe even above agency level. Or how about Spotify? Right? Every December, the internet basically belongs to them. Spotify Wrapped isn't just a campaign at this point. It's a cultural event. People wait for it. People brag about it. People roast each other's music tastes because of it. It is the cultural music event of the year, right? People talk about it. I talk about it, right? I talked about Spotify Wrapped last year, and I'm sure as hell going to talk about it this year. And here's the part that agencies hate to hear. Wrapped is done in-house. And then we've got Nike. You can't talk in-house without talking about Nike. For decades, Nike and WK have been inseparable. Just Do It is basically advertising's Mona Lisa, but don't get it twisted here. Nike's in-house design machine is absolutely enormous. Their internal teams are shaping product design, identity systems, and system lines, retail experiences. Projects like Fly Ease for accessible footwear, Space Hippie for sustainability, NXT innovations, right? This is in-house design shaping the future for a brand at a level that agencies simply can't touch. Now let's contrast that with the agency world, because for decades, the agency gig was the crown jewel. You wanted to do the Super Bowl ad. You wanted to win a Cannes Lion. You went to work at an agency. That was the big stage. But today, scroll through the job boards. I saw an Omnicom agency posting an art director role in Chicago paying $50,000 a year. $50,000. That is absolutely insulting in 2025, especially in a city like Chicago. Meanwhile, those agencies are billing clients hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. And the agency culture, agencies love to call themselves families, and we all know what that means at this point. It's crunch time. 70-hour weeks, creative burnout, and little to no recognition. Sure, right, some indie shops are still doing amazing work, right? I worked at one of those small indie shops that, are doing really, really great trailblazing things for agency culture. But the big holding company agencies, they're struggling to prove they even matter at this point in the game, in this new landscape. Think about this contrast, right? In-house teams are building legacies inside their own brands. They have stability. They own the ideas. They get to push long-term vision. Agencies, on the other hand, are still pitching, 3 campaigns a week, hoping something sticks while fighting with procurement departments for a smaller and smaller slice of the pie. It's not just about, where the best work is coming from. It's about where designers are choosing to go. More and more talent is flocking in-house, not just because of pay and work-life balance, but because in-house is where the exciting, culturally resonant work is happening now. So where does this leave us? We're not talking about in-house versus agency as, a head-to-head fight anymore. We're talking about a shift in power. The best designers, the best campaigns, the best cultural moments, they are increasingly happening inside the brand walls. Agencies will always have a place, don't get me wrong, right? They'll always be good at solving those gnarly creative problems from the outside. But if they don't fix their pay, if they don't fix their culture and their relevance, they risk being remembered as the place you cut your teeth before moving to the real show. In-house. And that's the reality right now. The rise of in-house isn't coming, someday off into the future. It's already here. So if you're a young designer wondering which path to take, pay attention. The game has changed. In-house isn't the fallback option anymore. It is the main stage. But how do you feel about in-house versus agency? Which side are you on? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. That's all I have for you. Be sure to support the show by giving this episode a like, subscribing, and of course sharing this one out. I've been Ziggy the Designer. If there are 2 things you need to know about me, it's that 1, I love design, and 2, I'm very opinionated. I'll talk with y'all later. Bye-bye.